Wisconsin. Okay, hi there. It's ML with ML's Words of Wisdom from Wisconsin. And today's show is kind of like in response to a previous show where I showed you some pickles that I canned. Well, not canned. These are just pickles. See, I don't boil the bottles. I went over to my friend Emily's house. Protect her innocence. Change her name. Emily. She taught me how to, you have to use tongs and boil the jars and the lids and all of that. And so I didn't do that this time. I just made, this is supposed to be just pickles, pickled cucumbers, and I threw in some radishes and some onions and what else is in here? Some chili peppers, and then vinegar and salt. And I did the same thing. I call this my Americana in the good old summertime. This is pickled watermelon rind. And the recipe is so easy. I'll show you how to make that. I'll do a little live demonstration the next time I make these because they only last for like a week to 10 days in the fridge, and I'm the only one eating them in the family, if you can imagine that. So it's going to take me another few days to eat this up, and then when I make another batch, I'll take you on the journey and show you how to do that. But today, anyway, so I showed these two products in a previous video, and I know that any day now, the mailman is going to be bringing me many, many, many letters from all of people all over the world saying, Mel, how do you do that? So today, I thought that I would show you how to make sauerkraut. This is something, I went to a class, it's called fermentation of food, like kombucha and sauerkraut and I don't know, some other things that are like naturally fermented in nature. And I went to a class on how to make sauerkraut, and now I make it all the time. It's so easy. So I'm going to show you how to make it. Oh, and this is not really related, but kind of maybe. I just went out and picked these in my little patio garden, in my little grow boxes. Look at this. I'm going to put this in with my sauerkraut and all these tomatoes. You don't put this in with the sauerkraut. I'm just showing you this stuff. But look at this, jalapeno and stuff. And I've already eaten half of this one, very, very hot and spicy. So anyway, when I make my sauerkraut, I add other things to it. I'm going to add some cloves of garlic. I'm going to add some little caraway seeds. And I'm going to add some dried chili peppers from last year, and I think I might put in this jalapeno pepper as well. And of course, you gotta put in the cabbage. Don't forget the cabbage. Now you may be saying, ML, what's the recipe? Well, all it is cabbage and salt. Now you can't use that iodized salt in the blue container or whatever container. I'm not advocating one brand over the other. This is called real salt. It's ancient fine sea salt. And look, looks like sand. It's real. They haven't added anything to it, so I don't know what's all in here, but that's what you're supposed to use. So, how much you might say? You use 1 1/2 tablespoon of ancient or kosher salt. And you're supposed to use some bacteria, okay? So, now you may be saying, ML, where do you get the bacteria? Well, it's on your hands. So don't boil your hands. This is not canning. You need to have the natural bacteria that's in your hands and in the jar. I've just got this jar from the pantry to help ferment the cabbage with the salt, okay? So now I'm going to stop this video. I'm going to chop up the cabbage, and I'm going to do another video showing you the next step so that you don't have to sit here for an hour and watch me chop. Okay, stay tuned. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Now, what I've done is I have the big paper mache bowl that we used to use in Kenosha to make paper mache. and I've chopped up a whole head of cabbage. I don't know how many pounds. It was maybe like 1.5, 2 pounds. I don't know. But for like 3 pounds of cabbage, you use like 1.5 tablespoons of this ancient sea salt. So now I've chopped this up. Now I'm going to take my ancient sea salt. You know what? This may have been around with the dinosaurs, with the Tyrannosaurus Rex and whatnot, may have walked on this. And now I'm putting it in my sauerkraut. How do you like them apples, huh? Okay, now this is 1 tablespoon. Do not be confused with teaspoon. Tablespoon is TBSP, tablespoon. Teaspoon is just TSP for teaspoon. So don't get confused. All right, so now I'm going to add about 1 tablespoon and maybe, I don't know, like 1/3 of another one. Okay, I'm going to add that. And now, and while I was chopping this up, I was touching my mobile phone. So my hands are just teeming with bacteria. I'm ready, okay? Now, you just take your hands and you start massaging the cabbage. I don't know if you can see it. Let me take the phone. Okay, now look. Okay, just a second. Look. See, I'm massaging the cabbage. And you do this for a good 10 minutes. So I'm going to put the phone on pause and watch a TV show or something. And while I massage my cabbage. Okay, stay tuned. Taking a long time to massage it. I'm back. Whew! My hands are sore. What you gotta do is massage it so much so that you break it down. And you can see, look, it's dripping the water that was in the cabbage. That's what you want to get to the point where you've just broken it all up and it's no longer dry. Now, what I've done also is I've chopped up some fresh garlic, some fresh jalapeno and serrano peppers, and I've put them in this jar. And then I'm also going to put in some dried chili peppers later, and I'm going to add some caraway seed to the cabbage right now. And then I'm going to stuff it all in this tiny little jar. I hope I can fit it all in. I opened up a can of diet soda pop while I had my cabbage going on with my hands, and now it all tastes all salty at the top. Blech. Okay, I'm back. Now, you'll see I was able to get most of this cabbage. This was like a whole head of cabbage from my community-supported agriculture program, of which I am a member. And I was able to get all of it practically in this jar, and you can see I've still got the stuff on the bottom. Now, what you gotta do is you gotta press it all down, and you'll see, look. There's some liquid. You see the liquid? You want the liquid. You want a layer of this cabbage water to be on the top because it's got to go anaerobic. That means no air. If you get air in it, it'll mold or there might be some white scum. And they say that you can just, cut that off and throw that out or put it in the compost bin, but it'll still be good because the whole thing, just like the bacteria, acts like yeast, which is also like another single-celled amoeba or like creature or whatever. That just is like your little sous chef, and it helps you in the kitchen. Okay, so anyway, so then what you do to keep the air out is I take a little plastic cup and I weight it down with a little jar of something and I push it down. And every day I'm going to check it. And you want to take a knife and put a knife around the edges to let the bubbles come up because it's going to start bubbling. And then after about 3 or 4 days, you put it in a dry, dark area that's not too warm. And then after about 3 or 4 days, you taste it. And when it gets to the pungency that you like, then to stop the fermentation, you put it in the fridge. And then from there, it lasts for like a week to 10 days. So I've eaten it for like 2 weeks afterwards because, it's fermented, it's anaerobic. It's got to be, it's still good. It's still good. So anyway, so it's very, very healthy. So I hope that you've enjoyed this little sauerkraut session. Enjoy the Americana of it all, and I'll do a taste test sometime in the future. And when I do a show on how to make the pickled watermelon rinds. Oh my gosh, so much to do. Summer's almost over. Gotta make the most of it in the good old summertime. Okay, well, this has been ML with ML's Words of Wisdom from Wisconsin. Bye-bye now.